Hai semua dan Assalamualaikum. Thank you for attending to yet another new episode of our Xpert Series. We are live on Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, and our YouTube channel called the Xpert Series. And to those who are new to our channel or to our talk show, you might be wondering, what is the Xpert Series anyway? The Xpert Series is a casual talk show that features conversation with influential business leaders and disruptors within our region. Our series will be focusing on talking about the challenges and opportunities within the business space, while sharing insights and perspective from our fellow guests. So joining us tonight is the multi-talented Asrizal Razali. A warm welcome to you, Rizal. Thank you for coming. Nice yellow background di belakang. And just an introduction about Mr. Asrizal, or you can call him Rizal. He is an MDRT financial practitioner and also a senior lecturer in the area of design and creative field. With a deep understanding of both industries, he has a knack for approaching business continuity and succession risk management from a holistic point of view. So before we start our conversation or just a chat with you, I'm wondering, how do you balance between being a successful financial advisor and also a senior lecturer? Your field.
All right. Okay. First of all, I think thank you, Lokman. Pleasure to be here. All right. So first question. So I think let's just start. Design and financial, I think is quite when I tell people, they're quite surprised actually. So how do I get into it? So I have been in design industry for at least for about 17 years. So I've been under my capacity as educator, trainer, and also consultant. And a little close to about 10 years ago, then I started having an interest, showing some interest in financial line. So then the rest is history. So that's where we are today. So answering to your question, yeah. So I'm quite fortunate whereby the design part of my job allows me the freedom to actually pursue some other interests as well. So it's kind of that I have a flexible hours and whatnot. So it allows me to pursue other interests, which is now in Deenar Group as an advisor. So trying my best, juggling, because but then again, it's not so much juggling because I'm quite interested in both, so it doesn't, at times it doesn't feel like a job. It's just
because you're pursuing your passion, right?
Yes.
So to those who are just joining, we are now talking about the topic of today's episode, the 6th episode of the Xpert Series. We are talking about business continuity and succession risk management with a takaful approach. So perhaps we can start to dive into this particular topic. And Rizal, do you mind explaining perhaps the basic concept of business continuity and succession risk management in the context of takaful?
All right. Thank you for the question, Lukman. Okay, so before we delve deep into it, so let's first just establish, all right? So business owners, or sometimes we call them as an entrepreneur, they love risk, right? So if you ask any business owner out there, whether they are 1 year in the business or whether they are 40 years in their business, they all took risks. Okay. So when business continuity from the context of takaful approach is where we manage their risk. Okay. Then the question is, why do we manage, or we help them, or we assist them manage their risk? So when you work with them to manage the risk, and then they can then take more risk. So you ask any business owner, when they take more risk, there is a high possibility that they become more successful.
Yep.
You ask any successful business owners out there, you ask, let's quantify the amount of risk that you take. They will say it's humongous. Okay, it's enormous. Okay, if they don't take risk, then they will not be successful. So that's number one. All right, and number two, like many other businesses out there, they took in debt. Right, so they either took and we call it liability. So they have liability. So takaful approach in the context of business continuity allow assist in debt cancellation.
I see.
So we cancel. So in a way that you do debt cancellation. That's number two. And number three, in many business out there, the key driver of the business is probably the business model itself. It has a lot of variables, but some or most have this one key person or more than one key person. All right. So having that key person, whether it's the C-suite, CEO, CFO, CMO, or any other position that you assign them in an organization. So this key person, if ever there's one day that a business lost this revenue generating key person, so then again, that's where the takaful approach comes. And because imagine that you have a business and this one key person drives 90% of the revenue year after year. And then one day you lost this person, whether lost meaning that it's either resign or either something happened to this person. So that's when, again, that's when the business still needs to go on. Business needs to continue. So that's where what we call it a key man structure. So that's when you need a key man structure under a takaful approach. So so then however, we only cover our role as an advisor in Deenar Group. We only cover financial aspect of it. We do not cover legal. We work with company lawyers, company secretaries, their COSEC, and we work with their lawyers, we work with their COSEC, and to provide a holistic business continuity and succession in the context of takaful.
And you mentioned quite a few times about the word takaful because that's the key focus that you have within your portfolio. But I'm wondering, what's the difference between takaful and the conventional way of risk management?
There's quite a key differentiator because, for example, I will not be able to elaborate much on conventional. Okay, but I will just focus the answer to that question. I'll just focus on takaful approach. Takaful instrument that we have out there falls under the Islamic Financial Services Act 2013, Table 10. All right, which explicitly mention that any of the what they call in Malay, we call it pampasan. Right? Pampasan. Sorry. So
compensation.
It doesn't. Compensation. So it doesn't come to me. Okay. So pampasan, it cannot be number one. Remember, if we work with a Muslim business owner, then we are entitled under faraid and also civil law. So remember, in Muslim, in Malaysia especially, we have two laws. If anything happens to us, one is faraid, the Islamic law, and one is the civil. So under faraid, for pampasan, for compensation, it goes direct to whoever your beneficiaries without any question. It can no question asked, basically. Yeah. So that is a key differentiator. Obviously, there are many options out there that one can take, but yeah. So that is where the advantage comes in. So because in ensuring business, because you will see there are many businesses out there after after something happened to the owner or the person who starts the business, it goes, there are, basically there are three categories. Okay, we categorize this, okay, for business. So one business is either you go to IPO. We let's talk about a little bit, divert a little bit into like exit. Okay, how does one business exit typically? So one, either go out to IPO.
Yep.
All right. Second is either you go pass down to the next generation. All right. And then the third one is close shop. All right. So when we talk about close shop, sometimes business close down because there is a challenge, a legal challenge in terms of RI. So yeah, so we need to avoid that, especially for Muslim business owners.
Now it is more clear to me, and I love when you mentioned about the three exit method for any business out there, because in terms of managing the future risks, we do not know what will happen in the next coming days, even can. So having this will hedge the risk to some extent. And this goes to my next question to you, Rizal. What are some of the key challenges faced by businesses when it comes to ensuring business continuity, and how does Takaful address these challenges?
All right. Okay. Thank you, Lukman, for the question. All right. So there are a few things. Okay. Key challenges. So I will narrow it down to probably about three that I usually find out there when I work with business owners. So number one, the next generation doesn't want to take over.
I see.
It can be either it's not fancy enough, it's not something out of interest and whatnot. All right. So that's one. Number two, there's simply no successor. So there's no successor. And number three, probably after X number of years, the business falls under a shrinking industry, a sunset industry.
Okay.
So for example, I'll give you an example. For example, last time, the way we listen music is we buy albums in CD and whatnot. Now you have Spotify, you can just get songs. We buy songs, okay? Or rather you subscribe to songs. You no longer have albums. So we compile our playlists and whatnot. And how does Takaful address these challenges? Like I said, is a wealth preservation techniques. So you preserve the wealth. And like I said just now, to my third point in the previous question, I said close shop. You have to remember that even to close down a business, you still need money, right? Yeah, and then to a certain extent, mistakes also cost money. All right, so mistakes cost money, and there are not many instruments out there that whereby you pay 10% of the value and you get 100%. There's not many. There's not many. Just to manage your risk. Okay. So yeah. So that's basically how does Takaful address these challenges.
I see. It's quite in depth for your explanation just now. And going into the next topic, we all love surprises, Rizal. We all do. And perhaps you can share some of the mind-blowing facts or statistics regarding business continuity that people often do not aware of.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I can share just one, a very glaring and obvious one. So in 2013, frozen assets in Malaysia. So frozen assets include company shares, company assets, and it got frozen for various reasons. Probably some of it you can inclusive of demise of the owners. There are some challenges between successors. I think couple of days ago you heard from MDRT Group, there's still some and then the glove company, one of the top 4 glove company where the daughter sues the father and whatnot for whatever reason. So total in 2013 is about 52 billion.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a big
it's 50 billion. So now we are in 2023, 10 years down the road, the figures now has gone up to nearly 100 billion ringgit.
wow.
Frozen assets out there around us. So you either you go around, you see some abandoned buildings, you see some abandoned properties, that includes business properties, business asset and whatnot. So yeah.
100 billion, that's indeed
Yeah.
mind-blowing as well. About your, perhaps you can share about your own experience. What are some key factors that businesses should consider when choosing a takaful provider for their business continuity needs?
All right, thank you. Thank you, Luqman. So there are quite few factors, but I narrow it down to 3. So number 1, you gotta take a look at the company paid up to the central bank. Okay, so how much the paid up deposit? I'm not sure whether we call it deposit, but basically it's just a paid up to the central bank. The second, you gotta take a look at the claims payout. So how much do they pay out for claim year after year? And the third one, you gotta look at their financial statement. That gives you a little bit of idea whether the company is reliable, or the company is trustworthy, and whichever factors that according to anyone preferences.
I see. That are those are some of the due diligence that
Yeah.
any business owners need to go through before selecting their takaful provider. Okay, you know that we all love a good story, and perhaps you can extract from your personal experience, Rizal, and share a real life example or even a case study where a takaful played an important role in ensuring the smooth translation of a business, of any business, to the next generation.
All right, thank you. Okay. Disclaimer. So I will not be able to name names.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
The privacy protection for my client. But let me just give you an example. Last year I worked with a business owner. He has established that business for about 40 years now,
40 years.
and still running. He is in his 70s. Very respected man, very inspiring man to be around with. So one of the problems that he has is that he has identified his successor, so one of the son. However, he has a few families. So that's where the alarm bell is starting. So when I met him, I informed him also, this is what I do. I provide solution to my client, especially I work closely with business owner in helping them in business continuity, business succession. So that's my expertise. So we work with him to establish a certain defense option. Okay, because you know that business owner, they are very aggressive, so we call it offense. So I told him, let me cover it, let me be your defense. Okay, if you play football, I love football, by the way. So defense and offense is equally important.
Yeah.
Right? You go on the offense. I said no problem. So you go on the offense. Let me cover your defense. Let me be your defense. So we establish so that through a takaful approach, as I mentioned before, so a compilation of a few other solutions and whatnot. So we established that if in any case that anything happens to him as a business owner, because he is the head he's the brain of the business currently. So he's slowly transferring his knowledge to this son of his that's going to be the successor. But at the same time, we're also going to ensure that anything happens to him, the other children are well covered. Right? Also, is also an asset. Right? So that every party happy, these two families are happy, and so there will be no further dispute and whatnot, because it's a multi-million ringgit business. So it's quite a pity if you, after you build it for 40 years, and then it's gonna fall down.
Just because of
just because of some dispute. But he also mentioned that he has a feeling that after he's no longer around, then most probably the business is going to be sold off and whatnot, because throughout his lifetime he received a lot of offers. If I can just put a figure, 300 million offers on board, but he rejected because that's his child, golden child, right? But he also understand that the children might not see the same. Right? So the children might not see the same, and they might just cash it out while they still can. So even the question is, when people hear, oh, okay, if 300 million offer comes in, oh yeah, we can cash it out and whatnot. But then again, there's also another challenge of, does everybody has a different figure in their head. Everybody thinks they deserve a different sum and whatnot. So that's when we Takaful are able to assist in this kind of problems. Lukman, I cannot hear you.
Apologies, I was unmuted. So I was talking alone. So you shared a very comprehensive story just now, Rizal, and based on the story that you shared, I believe this is one of the most common issues that any entrepreneurs or business owners will face at some point of their lifetime. So having this risk being managed by yourself is something that is truly helpful for them. I believe so. Let's shift our conversation from something that is, serious into something that is more towards the fun side. So, Rizal, if you could compare the Takafu to a superhero, who will it be and why?
All right, thank you. Thank you, Lukman. Oh, superhero. All right, I would say Superman.
Okay, why? Why DC?
Superman.
First of all, why DC?
Because I think Superman, he has quite a number of abilities. It's fast, strong.
Okay.
So he
Laser
protects. Eye. Laser eye. He protects and all that.
Yeah.
So I think that is So that's what I think most appropriate to compare Takafu.
Superhero.
Like a protector.
Protector, yeah, that's what. And then we grow up within our generation looking up to superhero just like Superman. It's just nowadays that people are focusing on the non-DC character like the Avengers and so on. Okay. Before we go, I would perhaps you can share with our fellow listeners who are interested in having their business succession plan reviewed and analyzed. So for them, how can they engage with you and your group, the Deenar Group, to benefit from your expertise and guidance and so on? And perhaps you can give a simple process that or steps that they can take to make the review happen.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. So for those business owners out there that are interested to get a little bit of guidance or expertise or even some, we can just have chit chat, a coffee, over a coffee and whatnot. So not an issue. You can drop me a message on my LinkedIn. Right, so Asrizal Razali. So that's my LinkedIn. You see, you obviously will see my face there. No,
Okay.
so you can't miss it. Okay, you can't miss it.
Okay.
There's not many Asrizal out there on LinkedIn as such.
Very unique.
Yeah. So what we do, what the process usually, what I'll take through, every time I'll tell my client, or not client, then in the beginning. So what I'll do is I'll do fact finding first.
Okay.
In order for me to give you advice, I need to have some fact finding session needs to take place first. As you see in our name, we are your solution partner. So we provide solution. It will not be a product based. It will not be anything until we understand the whole of what is a business, what kind of how you run in the business, and every little details about the business. Because remember, as a business owners out there, if you are a business owner, let's say your business is worth 10 million today. If you are the owner, you obviously I have every confidence that you can take it to 20 million when you are on, because that is you know what to do. So you've been there and whatnot. But you also have to think about what if you are not in the picture. Okay, if you're not in the picture, two things could happen. One, the business still goes to 20, or we could also say it dropped to 7 million, for example. All right. So if you're no longer on, so my job is to protect that gap. So that's why I come. Yeah. So that's why I come in. So that if you are around, and if you're no longer around, the business goes to 20. I'm always plus 3 or plus 13, whatever that you want to call it.
I see.
I'm always positive. Right? Even if it goes to 7, from 10 it goes to 7, I'm still plus 3. It goes back to 10. So in every situation, in every angle, I'm always positive. So that's when. So if this is something that of your particular need, or if you need some expertise and guidance, I will so get in touch with me. Then we can sit down over coffee, and then let's have a review. So let's have some fact finding.
And talking about getting in touch with you, of course, you guys can reach Asrizal at his LinkedIn account, Asrizal Razali. And how about your phone number? Do you mind sharing your contact details?
Yeah, so you can contact me at 012 907 5052.
Okay, so contact Asrizal if you want your risk to be managed, especially if you are a business owner. Contact him at 012 907 5052. 012 907 5052. So again, thank you so much, Rizal, for your time today. And I think we went through quite a number of Q&A session for tonight. Thank you so much for that. And I believe our listeners have benefited a lot from our session, especially when you mentioned about the asset that is frozen at the moment, close to 100 billion. So you do not want your asset to become part of the statistic. So reach out to Asrizal and the Deenar Group for further consultation. And any last note from you?
It's a pleasure. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much, the Xpert Series. Thank you so much, Luqman. So hopefully see you again.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Rizal. And that's a wrap for our Xpert Series for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to today's show, and stay tuned for more exciting topics and expert advice from our fellow guests. Until next time, take care and goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikum.